Picture this. You've got a 580 credit score. You've been denied more times than you can count. You're tired, you're frustrated, and you're convinced the system is rigged against you. But now, imagine walking into a bank, sitting across from the loan officer, or even applying online, and this time you actually get approved. Not next year, not after some magical 12-month credit rebuilding plan. Now. Sounds impossible, right? Well, it's not. So here's the truth. Credit approvals aren't just about your score. They're actually about how you play the game. And if you understand the rules better than the people enforcing them, well, you can make their own system work for you, even if your score doesn't look pretty on paper. Now, this isn't about lying, about hiding information, or doing anything shady. It's about understanding how approvals really work and presenting yourself in a way that makes the decision makers say yes, even when the numbers don't look perfect. So, welcome to the Bad Credit Solutions channel, the channel that exposes the truth behind your money, your credit, and your financial future. So, if you've ever been told, sorry, you don't qualify, stay right here because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to flip that script and stack the odds in your favor. But first, you need to understand that while your credit score matters, it's not the sole deciding factor. See, every lender, landlord, or credit issuer is looking at a bigger picture than just a 3-digit number. Basically, they're analyzing how much you owe compared to how much you make. They're scanning your employment history to see if you've been at the same job for a while or if you've been bouncing around every few months. They're looking at your payment patterns to spot late payments or collections. They're checking how much of your available credit you're using. Now, here's where the first real trick comes in. Timing is everything. See, the information that appears on your credit report is not live. It's a snapshot. Now, most credit card companies report your balance to the bureaus on your statement closing date, not your payment due date. So if you strategically pay down your card balances a few days before that closing date, well, the report the lender pulls will show a lower balance and a lower utilization rate. And that instantly makes you look less risky. Now, this one move can mean the difference between a denial and an approval, even if your score doesn't change much. Now, another overlooked factor is how familiar a lender is with you before you even apply. See, most people walk into a bank cold or they fill out an online application with no prior connection. Now, that means the decision is made solely by an algorithm looking at data points. But when you establish a relationship first, like, say, opening a checking or a savings account and keeping it in good standing for a couple of months, well, you give the lender a reason to trust you. You're not just an anonymous name in their system, you're already their customer. So if you've been denied before, shift your focus to smaller local institutions like, say, credit unions. See, credit unions are built to serve their members, and they're much more likely to look at your overall story instead of treating you just like a number. They can factor things in like recent improvements, stable income, or a strong savings pattern, even if your score is below their usual threshold. So, my credit warriors, just before we take an even deeper dive, it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute that we produce another game-changing video that helps your credit situation. And I promise it will help and you'll appreciate it. So buckle up and let's plunge a bit deeper. So one of the fastest ways to make the system see you as less of a risk is to piggyback on someone else's strong credit history. So if you've got a trusted family friend or just a friend with a credit card in good standing, ask them to add you as an authorized user. Now, when they do this, the account's positive history, its age, its credit limit, and its spotless payment record, well, that gets copied onto your credit report. Now, this can have a very dramatic effect on your score, sometimes within just 1 or 2 reporting cycles. It can instantly lengthen your credit history, it can lower your utilization, and it can erase the appearance of being new or risky to lenders. But it's important that the card you've added to has low balances and no late payments, because the history record, good or bad, becomes yours the moment you're linked. Now, here's something the average person never realizes. When you're denied for credit, you often have the right to request a manual review. Now, that means instead of letting a computer have the final say, a human underwriter takes a closer look. Now, this is where you can explain one-time negative marks on your report that makes you look worse than you actually are. Something like, say, a late payment due to due to a short-term emergency, or maybe a collection that has already been resolved but hasn't been updated in the system yet. Now, when you call for a reconsideration, have your proof ready. Pay stubs that show consistent income, bank statements showing healthy deposits, or a short explanation letter that makes you appear stable and low risk. That can sway the decision in your favor. Now, this doesn't just work for credit cards. It can be used for loans, mortgages, and even rental applications. And here's the twist that almost no one ever talks about. There's a specific type of credit product that's designed to approve people with bad credit, even with multiple denials. Now, not only can it give you access to a real spending power, but it can also rebuild your score in the background while you use it. And I'm going to reveal exactly what it is, how it works, and which banks offer it in a forthcoming video. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Drop a comment below with the lowest score you've ever been approved with, and you'll be surprised how many people have been in your shoes and still managed to win. So if you found this valuable, share it with a friend who needs to hear it today. And in the meantime, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.